Hello everyone, welcome to Wander with Acrylics. I'm Shweta Iktare, I'm a visual artist and I'm going to help you out creating beautiful acrylic paintings for next 5 days. This painting challenge is specially designed for beginners and people who want to get back to painting and finding it a little bit difficult to get back to it. So this challenge will help you to get into the rhythm. Today is day one, and we are going to create this beautiful mountain range. It might be looking a little bit difficult, but if you paint along, you'll be able to get it. So let's get started. I'm starting with orange and white and mixing the colors to create a pastel orange. I wanted a bit muted color, so I added very little black to make it a neutral shade. And I'm putting it on paper now. I have 4 number brush with which I'm putting it on paper. Now I'm dampening my brush because it felt like my brush is dried up, and with damp brush I'm moving the color along so that it doesn't feel very chalky. Now I'm taking white and directly blending in the color on paper itself, making it lighter shade. Again picked up the original shade. When you are creating the shaded part, you have to go back from light to dark and dark to light. So for light to dark, I started with the white here and took the darker shade and now blending in and working on white. I'm just moving my brush along in one direction and I'm mixing from downward part to upward part. You just have to keep doing this to make a nice blend. Now this part, downward part, I don't actually need to work on it right now because mountains are going to come here. So I'm taking a smaller brush. You can take a round brush of 2 number or 3 number. Right now I'm making a grayer shade with the orange and black. I'm creating grey using those two colors and trying it out on a different paper. Trying it out on a different paper helps you to know what color you're exactly putting it on your paper and just have a combination. I'm liking the lighter shade for right now. So I'm using 1 number brush to create the mountain outline. And while painting, I felt that this color is slightly lighter than my liking. Now I felt like that the color is still slightly light. So I'm picking up the darker color. I picked up darker shade. Added dark color in the shade which I had created. And just made an outline and slightly mixed it up. Shading it very lightly with the 1 number brush. So that was our first mountain. Second mountain we started with the darker shade, creating darker outline and then filling it up. Now we are blending in, and so for that I'm picking up a bit of water in my brush. So my brush is slightly watery and I'm blending in with it. We took very watery color, and water brings translucency in your acrylic colors. So that's why the background color is still visible. Now moving on to next mountain. And again we are going to repeat the same thing. We created outline, slightly blended in. And then picked up water in the brush. Very less water. Don't overdo this. And blend in. This is a very satisfying thing to do. Now again for the next mountain. Now taking slightly darker shade because it is closer mountain. And I'm doing the same thing again. Making an outline, then filling in, then adding water and blending it properly. So now we got the background here, and I can also put white if I want to, just to make it more shine. Now I'm starting with basic outline of the mountain, which is in the foreground, and I directly took black color for it. And again, using my 1 number brush, you can use your 0 number or 2 number brush. Or you can actually sketch it with pencil also. I'm too used to sketching everything with my brush itself, but you can pick your pencil and draw it. Or you can pick your pen also. Now just filling in the black color. Nice and clean filling. Now for the next part, next mountain, we are going to add white with our black to create grey shade. I should have checked it on the paper first. Earlier it felt darker, then I made a lighter shade, comparatively lighter. This grey is a bit nice. It is surely a little different from the black which we used. We needed slight difference in the color. Also, don't pressurize yourself to mix color exactly. Few things here and there are fine. Now I took again comparatively lighter grey shade from what I've started with for this mountain and just putting it on the downward part and creating sort of an outline with it. Now you have two colors for your mountain, two different shades of grey. Now I'm washing my brush and just with a damp brush I am blending it in, mixing these two areas. Now with the lighter shade which I had created, I am adding one more mountain. This is a lighter one, this is another mountain. Again making slightly lighter shade for the downward part and creating the boundary. Now I'm taking 1 number brush, just cleaning up the edges, just an outline. You can use 0 number brush for that. Now I took one more lighter shade of grey. So every time when I'm creating a grey, I'm adding slight bit of white in the darker grey and making a lighter shade. As we go to distant mountains, the colors tend to get lighter. It is also called as atmospheric perspective. The distant things are visible much lighter and less in contrast. And nicely filling up these mountains. This is sort of very simplified version of the photograph. If you want to add more detail, you can go ahead and add more details like more shades. Now again I took one more lighter shade and just showing the light reflection from inside part of the mountain. So between the mountain ranges, it seems like there is a light glowing. Looks like the mountain is backlit. Just adding more light, picking up lighter shades and just filling the areas. If your colors are drying in between the process, just use mist spray on your color palette or on your artwork so that it will help you out keeping your colors moist. Now here I'm just taking the original shades and cleaning up the edges. Now to add details, I took a very light color, light grey color or white color, and using a zero number brush to add few lines here and there. I could have done it in different tones with like more shades, browns and blues. If you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. Right now I just want it to be a single color, so I took white and grey shade, just added few details. And now I'm doing the backlit part of the very distant mountains, the lightest of grays which we had used, with thin white color, more water and less color. Very translucent color we are using here. Just above the distant mountains, I am putting in the color so that it looks like backlit. Very translucent color, but it is bringing up light nicely. I would love to add few birds here. So for birds, you just need to create very light, very small V shapes, just like tick marks, and very lightly and very small. And they will look like birds in the distance. We need to create an idea of the bird, not the bird itself. So just like V, and try to do it in a flow. Practice it on a different paper so that you get it easily. Just V and the right mark. Just adding birds here and there, and it beautifies our painting. I think I'm done. Let's take out the masking tape. When you are taking out the masking tape, just pull it in angle. Also, you can use your hair dryer to loosen the gum so that the masking tape removes easily. I hope you enjoyed painting this one. I loved creating this and I'm looking forward to see your creations.